So welcome to Left versus Right. I'm Anthony Weiner on the left, on the right, Dominic Carter. Dominic, this is now, I guess, week 6 or 7 or whatever it is. They've moved us into a fancier studio.
We'll take it. We'll
take it. They're now filming it for TV or YouTube, whatever the kids are watching. But the most important thing they've done is they put a table between us now. Kind of like, I guess, so we can't reach each other with our swords like they do in the British Parliament. But people have been reacting. I've been enjoying it a great deal every week. What kind of feedback have you been getting from your listeners?
Great feedback. Folks enjoy it. I'm going to say to you what we say every single week. Let's try to be fair and objective, and let's stay away from the Democratic talking points because the stakes are high. People are dying, literally, as it relates to far-left policies that's driving this country into the ground. So let's just have that ground rule.
Okay, so we want to be objective, not subjective. So that's where facts come in, right? Facts are neither left nor...
not Democrats, not Democratic spin facts. Actual facts.
Yeah, all right. Spin facts. That's a new thing. You and whatever her name was with the fake facts or alternative facts. Now you have spin facts. You should trademark that for a T-shirt.
No. But you're famous for giving facts that are skewed and don't reflect the full reality.
All right. Well,
let's get to it.
All right. Let's get to some of the issues of the week. It seems like this comes up just about every week. Donald Trump, the decision was made that he owes a bunch of money to the state of New York. He went to the state of New York and said, listen, I can't get a bond to raise all this money. So I guess the bottom line is Donald Trump is not as rich as we all thought he was.
No,
but
that's not the bottom line.
Maybe.
You see what I mean about skewed facts? You said your exact words were the decision was made. No, a skewed judge that was unfair to Trump from day one in a loaded trial made this decision.
So that means
in a jurisdiction where Trump can't win. That's exactly what I mean about skewed facts.
So let me ask you this question. So if a decision comes down from a court that you don't agree with, what happens?
This is just one judge. This was not a jury. This was one judge. It was a stacked courtroom in a jurisdiction where Trump didn't have a chance.
He has a right to appeal.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
Wait, excuse me, Mr. Weiner. He has a right to appeal as long as he puts up $450 million. Is that
a special Trump rule or is that for everyone?
It's for everyone, it's greatly unfair. It's greatly
Wait a minute.
unfair.
It's fair for everyone else?
No.
I've never heard you complain about this. Anyone else has had to do it.
It's unfair because... I know you realize this man is the former president of the United States of America.
He does not above the law. He has the same laws as you and me.
Right.
Same laws as you and me.
Well, we'll see if you want to hold up the law when it's a top Democratic official.
Well, hold on a second. I just want to make sure that we have the playing field set. You don't believe that there should be a different set of laws for Donald Trump, do you?
Of course I don't believe that. But
neither does this court.
But Trump didn't have a fair chance in this trial from day one.
Well, he's going to have a chance to appeal.
Right, no, but see, that's a loaded premise.
It's the court system.
He can appeal as long as he makes the
just
bond
like everyone else
of $454 million.
You just heard my show. I think they should take it for less. I don't think it matters if it's 300 or 100. He's going to have to pay if he's found if he's found guilty. I kind of agree the number is very high, but the point is
Wait. Stop. I want to make sure I heard that right. Mr. Weiner, did you say you kind of agree that the number's kind of high?
I agree.
Is that what you just said?
I agree that whether he puts up 100, 200, or 400, he's going to be good. He's going to be good for it. They'll seize his buildings or something like that.
Wow.
Right. However,
we should stop the show right now.
Dominic,
Anthony Weiner said something that's fairly reasonable towards Donald Trump.
Dominic, but here's the point. The point is, it's not what you think or I think. There are laws in the state of New York. We don't get to pick and choose the ones we like. So I think if I were the judge who's deciding the appeal, I say, listen, Donald, you say you got 100, give us $100 million. And then you go do your appeal. But all that being said is it's important that many of you who support Donald Trump seem to be arguing, the law should not apply to him. He should have a different little set. Everyone has to put up a bond when they're appealing. Everyone does.
Does everyone face the bond of $454 million?
No one rips off the state of New York like he did.
Well, that's your version.
No, that's the court's version.
That's what the judge says.
Yes, that's the way this works.
Come on.
Judges say things.
Anthony, you know damn well Trump did not have a fair trial, and that's the bottom line.
Look,
and it's going to be proven. It's going to be proven that he did not have a fair trial as this case is appealed.
He was found liable based on his own numbers.
You could say that 1,000,001 times.
No, his numbers.
Okay,
based on his own stuff.
But what part did you hear me about not a fair trial?
But it was based on his stuff. There wasn't anything.
What part did you hear about not a fair trial?
What was unfair about it? Do you think?
From day one, this judge made it clear. Judge Angoran, the judge made it clear that he didn't like Trump and that this was not going to go Trump's way, and that's the bottom line.
But the facts that emerged at the trial were really not in dispute. He didn't. None of the witnesses said he didn't inflate the value of the assets.
So tell me, who did he defraud? Tell me an actual name of a person that Trump defrauded.
The Attorney General represents the.
No.
You want an answer, or do you not want an answer?
I want a name of a person that Trump defrauded. Besides giving me that garbage of the Attorney General.
The state of New York is not.
Okay, excuse me, Mr. Weiner. Give me a name
of someone. Okay.
Give me a name of a victim. You know there are no victims.
I have one for you. Dominic Carter.
Name. No.
Are you a resident of the state of New York?
Yeah, he didn't defraud me.
He did.
If it was up to me, he would have walked on day one because this is nonsense.
It's not up to you. Have you noticed that?
Right. I
so
know.
you asked for a name, but let me give you a fuller answer to the question.
Go ahead.
The Attorney General represents the state of New York and making sure that people follow the laws.
I got that.
So if someone says, I'm not going to follow the laws, that's what the Attorney General prosecutes.
Right. But the Attorney General goes to court with a stacked court and in this case. But
the evidence was really not in dispute. He did not live in a 30,000 square foot apartment. He did not. That was a fact.
So Mar-a-Lago, you're going to tell me it was not worth more than what the court says
Mar-a-Lago has a restrictive covenant that it can only be a nightclub. He went to the court and said it can be apartments. He knew the opposite was true.
So then how do you
And by the way, you know how we know that? Because in the court hearing, it came out that he knew.
So then how do you say now, after the fact, sell Mar-a-Lago for millions of dollars?
You don't.
It didn't have the value on the front side, but on the back side, now that you got the conviction,
by the way, do you know,
now it's worth a lot of money.
Do you know how we know how much it was actually worth? Because Donald Trump's appraisal showed how much it actually worked, and he lied about it.
Mr. Weiner.
It came out at 15, and he said 600 or 700. That's a lie. You can't lie on documents in New York State. If you did it, would you get away with it?
You know what? I would have a lot more respect for your point of view on this issue if you just said outright, we Democrats are determined to embarrass Trump and to prove that he doesn't have the money. Let me finish. That he doesn't have the money that he says he has.
Listen.
Because that's what this is all about.
I will concede this, that the higher the monkey climbs, the more you can see his ass. Yes, he claims to be this rich guy that has all these businesses when it turns out that he lied about it.
You know what the kids call that?
Yes, Dominic. What do the kids call it?
Hating 101. Mr. Weiner, you and the Democrats have a PhD when it comes to Trump and hating 101.
All right.
Just admit it.
If that's what the kids say. All right, let's get to issue number 2.
What's issue number 2?
Let's move on to issue number 2. And it's that issue you hate to talk about. It's immigration in this country. I know that you don't like this issue. You don't like talking about it. You don't like yelling about it because it doesn't make it on the front page of the New York Times of the New York Post.
Here we go.
I'm being sarcastic.
What's this thing with the New York Post?
Let me do the setup.
Every week.
It's a propaganda tool for Republicans. What do you mean, why?
Really?
What, does that news you? What are you, new in town? Of course it is. All right, let me do the setup for the issue.
Go ahead. What's the setup?
So the state of Texas says it's in our power as a border state to basically do enforcement of immigration laws. The federal government goes to court and say, hey, Supreme Court, this is crazy. You can't let them do that. It's been precedent since the 1900s that it's the federal government that does immigration laws. So the Supreme Court steps in and basically says, you know what? We're going to let Texas continue to do this, and we're going to kick it back to the lower court. The lower court, within 4 hours or so, says, hold on, let's put a stay in this while we sort it out. Well, let me ask you this question.
I'm so proud
Whose side are you on?
I am so proud of you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
For the first time, you have set up a story accurately.
Wait, how would you know?
I am so deeply proud
let
of
me
you,
finish
Mr.
the
Weiner.
setup. This is the first one I've ever gotten through.
Okay, so what's your question?
But here's the question is, now, I know that you like the things that Abbott in Texas are doing, and you like what DeSantis, love them and everything.
Governor Abbott is a leader.
Right, I understand.
What we're getting out of the White House is they're punting on every single issue for an election.
I understand. So are you saying that this is a state issue now and the federal government should back out?
Well, I do believe
It's got to be one or the other.
I do believe the U.S. Constitution says directly that any...
Since when do you guys care about the Constitution? Stop it.
Excuse me, Mr. Weiner.
You guys shred that all the time. Stop it.
Excuse me, Mr. Weiner. I do believe the Constitution says that if a state is, quote, being invaded, it has a right to step up and defend itself. What is Washington doing to help Texas as it relates to immigration?
Well, I'll
answer the question for you.
Well,
the White House and the Biden administration is doing absolutely nothing.
So let the states do it, you're saying.
Well, and what's the alternative?
The alternative is the way it's been done under Democrat and Republican presidents forever, which is basically Kathy Hochul does not do immigration policy that the federal government does.
We're talking about Texas.
No. This decision is whether states have a right.
Right. No, I got
it's a states' rights issue.
I got it. You want to broaden the appeal.
No, I'm just
so that it helps your argument. But
I was told I did an excellent setup for the issue. It's a constitutional issue.
This is a case right now between Texas and the Biden administration. And the Biden administration absolutely refuses to enforce the laws as it relates to immigration.
There have been more arrests in Texas there have been more arrests in Texas than under Biden than under Trump.
Okay, so let me put a question to you. If the state police in Texas are going to enforce what the feds are not, when it comes to migrants, illegal immigrants, what's wrong with that, Mr.
Well, here's the problem. I'm glad you asked. Courts, time immemorial, have said the problem would be you have two jurisdictions trying to figure out whether someone's guilty of a crime.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
What's the federal government trying to figure out?
Well, the federal government has immration courts, has immigration laws, has immigration officers, has the Department of Homeland Security. If you start to have some sheriff, some bozo sheriff coming and said, no, we're going to enforce the laws, how do we know?
If you're going to use the word bozo, I believe it applies to the federal administration.
No, I'm trying to give you an example of the problem that would emerge here. It's this chaos. Do the Republicans want chaos?
What I'm trying to get you, I cannot believe you just said that. It's the Democrats that want chaos.
Wait a minute.
What are Democrats doing to fight the issue of migrants?
The Democrats have said this should be a federal issue and treated that way.
Okay, but
you say it should be a state issue.
Notice how you keep avoiding my question.
No, you asked the question. I gave you a direct. What are the Democrats?
At the border, what is the Biden administration doing
enforcing the law?
Stop the
enforcing the law.
Enforcing the law. Are you
enforcing the law. Now, what is Abbott doing?
Abbott is at least trying. Okay. Abbott.
So they're both at least trying.
Abbott, rightfully so, is putting the buoys in the water.
Yeah, razor wire and all that kind of stuff. Wants to do arrests. And I assume prosecutions in Texas, too, for violations of the federal law. Okay. That's not going to be chaotic, huh?
Okay, Mr. Weiner, we don't have absolute chaos right now with the Biden administration doing absolutely nothing to deal with the problem.
We have chaos.
Come on, man.
We have chaos that is being perpetuated and exacerbated by Republican policies because that's what the political imperative is. If you didn't have chaos, what would you have? You'd have better laws, right?
As we speak, migrants have videos up on TikTok advising other migrants.
Oh, that's like Ali G stuff. Come on, don't buy it. Don't buy the hype.
Excuse me.
Suddenly you're into TikTok. I know, you're into TikTok suddenly. I can find a TikTok video that says just about anything. Cut it out.
Mr. Weiner, there are videos of migrants advising other migrants of how to take people's homes and become squatters. So this is a serious issue. This is a serious issue.
Yes, it's a serious issue, but we're not going to do it based on random TikTok videos you saw when you were like whatever it is, researching how to embarrass Joe Biden. Look, we all know a couple of things.
Wait. What was that?
We all know
how to embarrass Joe Biden.
When you were researching on how to embarrass Joe Biden.
So,
one of the ways to do it is have more chaos at the border. That's what you guys want. Just admit it.
Oh, my God.
You want chaos at the border. Otherwise, you would support tougher laws. You don't want tougher laws.
Anthony. We have situations where migrants are being charged with murder. We have situations.
And so are non-migrants.
And we have, there you go. So are you saying that American lives don't matter?
No, I'm saying that the amount of crime committed by people who are born here is higher than people who are not.
Mr. Weiner.
We know this.
Mr. Weiner, they're not supposed to be here.
I understand, but you're changing the subject again.
No, I'm not changing the subject.
We crime is higher among people who are born here than not.
Mr. Weiner, we have a situation, as you know, It's appearing in city to city to city with squatters. We have a situation where a woman was just murdered in Manhattan and stuffed into a duffel bag. Let me finish.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Because of squatters.
Doesn't have anything to do with immigration.
See, you're minimizing it.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with immigration. I'm not minimizing it. I'm just pointing out that we were talking about immigration, and now we're talking about we're not. I'll be glad. You want to do squatters for a few minutes? I'm willing to do that.
So why are these things happening?
Why is crime happening?
No.
Well, okay.
No.
It starts in the home.
No. It's never been this bad.
That's
utter baloney happening.
Dominic, you don't say to me with a straight face it's never been this bad. Come on, Dominic.
This bad. Oh, come on, people.
Dominic, you've been in the city a while. You're an elder statesman of reporting crime in the city. Do I have to tell you about the 80s and the 90s? Do I have to tell you about that?
Anthony.
Dave, just do something. Do I have to tell you about this stuff?
Yeah, the New York Post.
There you go. I'm only talking the language you know.
Okay, but wait, listen. Serious, man.
Yes, sir.
This goes beyond talking points, all right? These far-left policies are destroying America. When are you going to wake up? Let me finish.
Last week you couldn't point to one.
Finish?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. The squatter situation, right? This woman comes to get the apartment ready, right? Her family owns the apartment. These two squatters allegedly murder her, torture her, and stuff her body into a duffel bag. Come on, man.
What is the far-left policy? It's in all 50 states.
The far-left policies is that these types of things are
squatter laws in all 50 states, my man.
Excuse me. The policies are that things are so liberal in New York. The squatters have all the rights. The migrants have all the rights. And Americans have little to no rights.
Okay. First of all, the rules that govern squatters, there are squatter rights laws in every state in the union. So it's not Democrat or Republican. Now, you might want to say, look, this squatters thing is a little bit like shark attacks. Like suddenly everyone's talking about them. There have been squatter problems for decades and decades and decades. Yeah. And also,
so why not just say, rather than say it's like shark attacks, decades
you said it's a Democratic policy. I'm not letting you get away with it.
It is a Democratic policy.
Alabama?
Why not just say it's all across the country?
In Alabama.
Far left policies.
What Democrat has ever been in charge of making policies in Alabama?
National policies.
There's no national squatter law. Dominic, take a break.
Hold on.
Take a sip of water. Hold on. Take a break. Let's go to a break because national policy has squatter.
National policies don't apply to every state.
No, there's no national squatter law. Come on, get with it.
Anthony.
This is nothing. National policy. Okay, so did Donald Trump change the squatter law?
My friend, I love you, but you're delusional. You and your Democratic pals are delusional.
You can't get away with it.
When are you going to stop? When we have absolutely nothing? Why don't you just turn it all over to the migrants and to the squatters? Just give them everything.
The migrants are not doing the squatting. We'll be right back with more Left versus Right. Dominic Carter on the right, Anthony Weiner on the left, and we'll see you on the other side. So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on your right. I point out how we're sitting because we're doing this for YouTube as well. People are going to get a chance to see us. Once again, my mom's going to comment that you're much better dressed than I am.
But you know what? But there you win. You have the advantage. Because I'm a fan of your. Because I've always been a big fan of your mother, even though I never met her. And the reason why she's an educator, educators mean the world to me.
Well, I actually think you might have passingly met her on the campaign trail in 2005.
Okay.
You hosted a debate.
Yes.
At Lincoln Center, Jazz at Lincoln Center. The family came up and said hello.
Okay.
But my mom's always been great for my identity.
So listen,
a lifetime school teacher.
Your mother is smarter than both of us. Does she sit you down and say, Anthony, you're losing every week? These are the things you need to do to win?
No, it's funny. Here's what she thinks like a math teacher, right?
Okay.
So she'll find something that I'll say, and she'll highlight in a very gentle school teacher kind of way. She'll say, here's a different way you might want to think about that, or something like that. Right. But anyway, if you'd like to catch us.
Wait. What's your mother's politics? Is she
So she's like an NPR Park Slope liberal. But you know what the expression is? A Republican is a Democrat who's been a victim of crime, like that kind of thing?
Yes, like Ed Koch used to say that.
Right. So she has, I think she's one of these people who you might describe as that the party has moved and she's kind of stayed as a traditional. For example, I'm sure she would say she's much more hawkish on Israel than maybe the party has become over the years.
Okay.
And when I campaigned for mayor, I always said give teachers more control over discipline in their classroom based on experiences she would say that she had.
Yes.
Remember, she came up as a teacher at a time when if you were a woman, you could be a nurse, a secretary, or teacher. Those are your only. She's a master's in finance, my mom. And she was a great math teacher, but she's tough. When someone would stop me on the subway and say, Anthony, I had your mom for math, I'd always bristle a moment whether they were going to punch me in the nose. And what she would say, that one of the reasons she left the school system is they lost their ability to discipline kids like they used to be able to.
Right. And who could we thank for that?
You know what? It was years. Well, it's hard to say. I think it's because the city doesn't have control over its own school system.
And why doesn't the city have control? Why don't we have
upstate Republicans?
No.
Yeah.
That's not why.
It is. Downstate New York. By the way, New York City should control its own affairs, and that includes the schools. And when these upstate guys, you don't believe we should control our own schools?
They can't even
control our own liquor licenses, control our own stoplight cameras.
They can't even serve kids lunch without corruption. No, New York City should not control.
So you think someone in Syracuse should vote on what happens in New York City school?
Somebody's got to watch the money.
No.
Somebody. Listen.
Can I ask you something? How come we don't have New York City members complaining about Syracuse schools? We're 1.1 million school kids. Where it used to be, you trust Albany? Albany, the place that did the bail laws, the place that did rent control laws. Get Albany out of our lives, man.
Honestly, I think I like Mayor Adams. I think like you, I've known him for 30 to 40 years. I'd rather have Albany control the money.
Spend 5 minutes with Rudy Giuliani talking about how Albany got in our way of fixing things. And you'll see. I'll give you an example, and we're a little off topic here, but this is a good conversation.
Okay, go ahead.
If you want a liquor license in your neighborhood and you want to stop it because it's a troublesome bar, you have to go to an Albany agency to decide. You want to get a red light camera, you've got to go to Albany to decide.
So you drive 2 hours and testify at the
hearing? No, the whole point is I believe you should have local control of things, local control of schools, local control of quality of life things.
So local control.
Why can't we get the pot stores under control?
Local control of, you're right about that, local control of an out-of-control migrant situation, local control over
I'm saying
a squatter
things like
situation. Hey, how about this? The twins in Brooklyn, they're coming out of the store.
Yeah, I heard this on your show. You spent a lot of time on it.
Outside of the deli, and this madman nut job wants to date them, kick it with them, have sex with them,
right?
And they rebuff his advances. He stabs one in the heart and the neck, and then stabs the other one. You're going to sit here and tell me that's not because of far left Democratic policies?
You think he was thinking about the law when he did that?
No. Okay.
Use your head.
Okay. Let me finish. And I want you to use your head. What I think he was thinking is that the laws are on my side. No district attorney. Let me finish.
The murder law? How much do you want it to be tougher?
Let me finish. No district attorney is going to keep me in jail, so I can do whatever I want to do, and I will get away with it. I think every criminal now in New York thinks exactly like that.
This guy that's charged second-degree murder is going to go away for 50 years.
No, now you're talking about the train situation?
No. The guy you're talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, the guy who committed an act of premeditated murder, that second-degree murder, is going to go away for 30 years. I very much doubt the guy.
You really think so? With the policies,
how about this, Dominic?
With the policies of your Democratic friends,
my Democratic friends made it illegal to commit murder in New York.
Come on, Anthony, your Democratic friends are ruining this country.
I know you keep repeating that, and then uses this example. This guy who clearly was not thinking about the laws when he stabbed 2 innocent people. What the law is very tough. He's going to go away for his life.
Wait.
He's going to go away for life.
Did you say the law is very tough?
On murder? I think so, Dominic. I think it's pretty tough. The only thing we don't have is the death penalty.
Mr. Weiner, with all due respect, I like you, but what are you smoking? The laws are very tough.
What is the penalty for murder in this state?
Yeah, I know what the books say, but
what do you want? You want policies, and then I point to a policy.
Whoa. What happens in actual reality?
Wait,
first of all, he's not going to jail for murder.
First of all, the New York Post, we don't know what the reality is. There's going to be a trial.
Here we go.
All right, I'm going to explain how
New York Post.
I am going to explain how the criminal justice system works. The guy stands accused of murder. I think he did it. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he did it. But he's going to have a jury, he's going to have a trial, or he's going to have a plea bargain. He's going to go away for his lifetime. What more do you want? You just want to be outraged. I get it. You want to be outraged. You're in the professional outrage business, but that's what's going to happen.
No. I'm not in the professional outrage business. I'm in the business of getting things done. And right now, the obstacle to getting things done happens to be the Democratic Party.
What does the Democratic Party have to do with a jury trial here?
Anything to win an election. And you pander to the black community. It makes me want to throw up.
Let me ask you a question,
The
Dominic.
way that you pander.
Let me ask you a question, Dominic.
It's like, black community, we love you.
Who's doing the pandering
You can get away
now?
with anything you want
Dominic,
to, and you're hurting the black community.
Dominic, you're
not helping my community.
You brought up a murder, and then you say, I'm pandering. How am I pandering by explaining to you that the guy's going to go away for life?
Well, first of all, I brought up the murder because you won't, because Democrats don't care if Americans are killed. But the truth is,
I'm a little bit different. I care that Americans who don't make the front page of the New York Post because it's a dramatic story. I care about all of them. But you said Democratic policies. You keep doing this. You did it last week too. And then I say, what Democratic policy? And you can't point to one.
No cash bail.
This guy's not out on bail.
No, but the
what policy has to do with this case that you brought up?
Well, the fact that the criminal knows that they can do whatever they want.
He's apparently wrong because of Democratic policies. He's being held.
And not in a murder case, generally speaking.
That's the case you brought up, though.
Wait, let me finish. Generally speaking, they can walk out of the courtroom before the police are done with the paperwork.
You don't do generally speaking.
So you
There's
mentioned
not
the
generally
policy.
speaking.
Here's another one.
Go ahead.
How about having police officers in New York City, your crazy friends at the city council that want to document everything instead of the police doing what police do? You talk about policies. How about the fact that Democrats go, oh, no, we don't need a street crimes unit, and you get away with it. You dissolve the street crimes unit.
Who, me?
And Democrats.
We didn't do mayors do that.
And who are the mayors of New York City?
Hey, I got to tell you, we've had mayors, Democrat and Republican, and the Democrats have been the one that brought down the crime the most.
Mr. Weiner, you know damn well.
Bill de Blasio, my man.
If I were you,
I ran against the dude. I would have been a better mayor, but the crime stats are what the crime stats are.
If I were you, I would never mention the name of Bill de Blasio again. He's a perfect illustration of everything that's wrong. Eric
Adams made some changes in the police department. You can say you don't like him, say you like him. I don't know.
No.
That's not Democratic policies.
Hands are tied by Albany.
No, you talked about the street crimes unit.
The city council.
You talked about disbanding the street crimes unit. Who did that? Refresh me. I actually don't know.
It was done under
de Blasio?
Bill de Blasio.
Okay. Except under Bill de Blasio, the numbers were lower than they are now.
Oh, come on now. I mean, come on. I mean, we
I am fine. Listen, I am fine.
We can turn stats. You know what? You're good.
What do you mean turn?
You're good at driving this vehicle. Let's turn this stat to the left.
Here's one thing I will say.
Let's turn this stat
one thing you said that was right. You should just stop with "you're good." You should just stop with that.
All right. You're good.
Let's get to another couple of years. So Washington, D.C., a little bit of news this week. Joe Biden, who's doing the electric car slide. You see how I did that? Mm-hmm. He's saying he wants by the end of the decade, he wants us to be going overwhelmingly to hybrid cars and to EVs. A little bit of a different. He said EVs originally. Now he's changed it to hybrid cars. This is undoubtedly a good thing for America, a good thing for our dependence on foreign oil, a good thing for it's the single biggest way that we pollute the air. What can you possibly have against this?
You're joking, correct?
I'm trying to keep a straight face. I'm not joking.
Really,
I want to see how you're against electric vehicles.
You really don't believe that the throwing of electric vehicles down our throats, whether we want them or not, you really don't believe it's a good thing, do you, Mr.
I really
Weiner?
do. I think this is one I'm surprised it became. It's not a bipartisan thing. All right, let me give you some examples.
Mr. Weiner, wait. What happened over the holidays in Chicago during when it was really cold in Chicago? What happened? And
are you going to tell me that someone couldn't start their EV?
Oh, how do you know? That's what I was going to say.
Let me ask you something.
Wait, excuse me. I'll let you have your say. Literally, the Teslas were nothing but machines, engines that could not start. Wait. Let me finish. People couldn't charge their vehicle. Let me finish. People couldn't charge their vehicles for days.
Let me ask you.
Wait.
I see. No, you made the point.
Okay, but can
when
you
it gets
respond
cold,
to that? Can you respond to that?
I will.
Okay, go ahead.
I will. You know what they said when they took lead out of gasoline? Okay, they said our cars
won't.
I'm doing. You have to let me get past 6 words.
Go ahead.
They said, "Oh my goodness, our cars won't have as much power." You know what they said when there were requirements to put in airbags? Oh my God, the cars are going to be too expensive and they won't work.
Let the fact reflect. He's deflecting and not answering my question.
Let me just finish my thought. I'm never going to finish thoughts around here.
Go ahead.
Invariably, when we make progress, the progress is in a straight line. Yeah, I believe that the electric vehicles are going to get much more expensive. The batteries are going to get much better and everything else.
Mr. Weiner
that's
is
why
not
this requirement,
answering my question about what happened in Chicago.
I am. If you just listen to me.
Okay, go ahead.
I am not
doing it in a roundabout backdoor way.
I'm doing it at a normal pace the way people talk. So Fran Weiner, when she's watching, will say, very good, Anthony's being polite.
Go ahead.
So when we introduce new products and we have advances in technology, just the same way computers 10 years ago would sometimes not work for more than an hour or two, and now they can go on almost infinitely.
Right.
I'm not saying every electric vehicle car is perfect, but it's progress, and progress is good. Democrats say. Republicans say we want to go back to the 1950s.
Can you answer about what happened in Chicago?
I did.
No, you just gave me a general. I want you to specifically
I said you identified
what happened in Chicago.
You identified something about today's electric vehicles that are going to be better in next year's electric vehicles. That's why this effect doesn't go into effect until the end of the decade.
Hard and heavy,
it goes
especially
to the
when
end of the
car makers don't want to do this as fast as the Biden administration
Only one car
does.
company is opposed to this, and that's Toyota, because they've invested less in this. Yes, there are a lot of car companies that didn't want us to have seatbelt requirements also. We have progress in this country. And by the way, not for nothing, why don't you want to end our reliance on foreign fuel? Why do you like propping up Iran? Why do you like propping up Saudi Arabia? Every time you put gas in your tank, you're giving money to bad people.
I'm going to quote Trump here.
Oh, God.
When he says
Careful.
when he was president, Iran was almost bankrupt, and then Biden came in, and now they're flourishing and doing very well.
You're against that. You don't want them to get money. If they sat on oil that was useless, and we're supposed, you, Dominic, every time you pump gas, you're giving some of it to the Saudis. Are you happy about that?
Now, notice, for the third time now, he has not answered about what happened with electric vehicles in Chicago.
I've already done that. What don't you understand? All right, well, we only have a minute before the break.
Is this where you insert a Weiner fact here?
I don't know how to read that.
That's skewed.
By the way, I should trademark that. I should just Weiner facts. You know, the name of my show, you just heard my show where I say the left.
And it was a good show.
Neither left nor right. Facts are neither left nor right. Facts are just the things that tether our conversation.
Okay. I want to see if you can admit one thing. Let's, you and I. Can people spin facts where it favors them?
Use facts to support your argument. Yes, that's what we do here on Left versus Right.
No. I didn't say use facts to support your argument. I said spin and twist facts to support your argument.
Yes, I don't ever do that. And we'll be right back on Left versus Right. So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on your right. And if you want to watch this, you're going to be able to do it on YouTube. It doesn't come out as quickly as it does here as a podcast. You can get that as a podcast. And I urge you to tune in to Dominic's show. As much as he gets under my skin in these debates, Dominic, you have one of the best shows here at the station.
Thank you.
Because I notice you have two audiences. One audience is one that's getting ready to kind of go to bed. And another audience is one that they still have some vim and vigor to fight some more during the day, but you bring the noise, as we say.
Well, thank you. It's called that Americans are tired of being taken advantage of. That's what it's called.
That's the through line for your show?
Because of far-left policies that are ruining this country and driving this country into the ground.
Okay, well, let me just give you a little tip about promotion.
Okay,
since this is Left versus Right, there are at least some people here who identify with my point of view, and I want to point out to my liberal friends.
Well, see, I'm
you should listen to Dominic.
But
Dominic, I think
I tell it the way it is.
I know, but you're giving the impression that left views are not welcome on your show. You frequently take callers who are on the left.
No. I know left views are welcomed. But my thing is what's right is right, meaning the accurate. It doesn't matter what your perspective is. If far-left policies were working, I would stand here and admit that.
Would you?
You would never admit. As a matter of fact, that's a great segue before you get into where you're going next. Can you name one right policy that you agree with?
Well, I believe that we should hire more cops in New York City. Is that a right policy?
Yes.
Okay, I believe we should hire more cops in New York City.
You always say that. Something else.
I believe we should hire more people to go out on the street. Oh, here's what I believe in. I believe that people should be confined if they're mentally unwell. even if it's against their will.
Okay,
I think that sometimes
Amen
that's necessary.
to that.
But here there are a lot of things that are neither left nor right. Like I think, for example, in the war on drugs and the war on fentanyl and things like that, I think providing more treatment opportunities for people who want it. Like, what's a real blind spot? You go out on the street, and if someone's going to pick someone up, they can take them to a hospital maybe, but we don't have any place to take them to try to get them treatment, and that's a real blind spot in our system.
Okay, so what's our next topic?
All right, let's go to our. You see, you're uncomfortable with agreement. You fundamentally.
No.
What are some left policies that you agree with?
Right now, I can't think of any off the top.
That's so unfair.
I
did a couple.
Let me finish, because what Democrats did in Afghanistan, to what you're doing on crime in our country, to what you're doing to morals in this country, I think it's all wrong. And you're doing it, meaning not you, but Democrat, you're doing it to win elections.
Blaming the left for Afghanistan is surprising. That was W's war.
You're pandering to the black community all across America in ways that make me want to throw.
But let me ask you about Afghanistan.
Okay, I can't. Okay, go ahead. Ask about Afghanistan.
Well, why do you mention that was a W policy? He's the one who got us into Afghanistan.
I'm referring to, you already know what I'm going to say, the way that the president just cut bait, ran, 13 Americans died, left all the military equipment. That's what I'm referring to. But what's our next topic?
Okay.
Because we can go on forever.
No, I would like to do Afghanistan, but let's not do it this week because we didn't have it on the rundown. But let's do it next week because I think it's an important one to do.
Fair enough.
So this is a little bit of a touchy one because, I'll do the setup the best I can. The state of New York passed a law that allowed people who alleged that they were victims of sexual violence to lift the statute of limitation, not for the criminal side, but for civil suits. A lot of people, it's kind of the outgrowth of the Me Too movement. So as part of a look back law, a woman has now come forward and alleged that Eric Adams, and I think it's in the 90s, is that right?
Yes.
In the 90s, in a workplace thing, and again, I don't want to shortchange it, but not giving all the graphic details, in a workplace thing, sexually abused her and threatened to withhold her. Now, I want to ask your thoughts on this because you have a very interesting take on this, but also an interesting element to this, the city of New York is representing him in this case, the Corporation Council. So what do you think? Is there anything that's left versus right here, or is this just something we have to wait and see how it works out?
This is something we just have to wait and see how it works out. I've known Eric Adams a very long time. The woman says he's a predator. I do not know Mr. Adams that way. I was not in the vehicle, obviously, so I don't know what actually happened, but this is 30 years ago. I have a hard time believing this. It sounds like it's a shakedown for a settlement to make sure it doesn't go to trial, knowing that the embarrassment that it cost the mayor of New York City.
Yeah, here's my North Star on this stuff. First of all, there's a reason we have statutes of limitations is because memories fade, evidence disappears, witnesses are not around. So I get the idea that everyone should have their story heard. And I want to be careful here because I do think that, I don't think generally speaking people come and make these claims just to make bucks on it. But I do have a concern that when you're looking at something this old, it becomes hard to defend yourself from it. Like, for example, if there were logbooks from the time about where Eric Adams, this apparently happened on the job. If there were logbooks,
He was off duty. He was off duty.
Got it. But all that being said, I am surprised that the Corporation Council is answering questions and representing them. They're supposed to represent the people of the city of New York. But the alternative, I guess, would be that then Adams had to have fundraisers to raise money for his legal defense. It's a mess. The city doesn't need it, but I think this woman and all women have a right to have their day in court. So I'm very conflicted about it.
I don't think it's ever going to reach the day of light of a courtroom. As far as the city representing Adams, here's the problem. You have to have one set of rules. I don't have a problem with the city representing Adams, but he was off duty. And in the past, there have been instances where the city did not represent police officers, some when they were off duty. So you have to have one set of rules. But I don't have a problem.
But here's the other side of the coin. If you remember that Bill de Blasio was a subject of investigations, he had to defend himself, and so he had to go raise money for his legal defense. Right. So now people are writing checks.
Did he ever pay that? Did he ever pay that?
Oh, that's the other thing. He owes a fine to the city.
Right. When he was delusional to think that he was going to be the president of the United States. Wait, let me finish. And he took the NYPD detail to protect him, and no one knew who he was or his wife. And corporation and the city's investigation agency said he owes more than $300,000. Did your fellow Democratic friend, did he pay that debt back yet?
I don't think he has. I was going to say you did a good job, but it's just for the setup. In case you missed what he was referring to, when Bill de Blasio was running for president for a half a minute, he took a security detail, very expensive. That coverage costs a lot of money. He was found that was a campaign expense. He's got to pay it back and pay a fine because he did it. But the reason, one of the
worst mayors ever.
But the reason, hey, I obviously don't blame me. I voted for Weiner, but. The reason I mention it is because it might have been even worse that he had to raise money while he was mayor to pay the legal fees.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Mayor Weiner.
Yes. I like the sound of that.
The girls that were stabbed in Brooklyn, would you show up there and hold a news conference to highlight the problem? No.
No. Because if the prosecutor didn't do their job or the police didn't do their job, but I'm not going to run to every high-profile murder in the city. No. Now, I would run if I thought, for example, if you turned out to be right, Dominic, if you turned out to be right and they were not charged for murder, I would be on that prosecutor with both boots to say that's outrageous because this was a murder. But just because it bleeds, it doesn't mean when they were mayor you run to the scene of the crime. Hey, LaGuardia showed up at every fire. Maybe that's an exaggeration. There were many more fires then. LaGuardia would show up at fires and things like that. And there would be if a police officer was shot, I'd be there in a minute. If there was some issue that affected, but every crime doesn't mean the mayor has to run and be there. And by the way, here's something mayors have to do.
Democrats don't care about crime. I'm sorry. You don't care. Unless it involves someone in your family, Democrats don't care. It's as simple as that.
Democrats believe in policies.
No, Democrats believe in getting elected and pandering to the black community.
Pandering is having a press conference at a murder scene.
To the black community.
Who would be
for example?
Who would be doing the pandering if you did a press conference in front of a murder scene?
For example, you know what just galls me?
What, Laken Riley?
Please don't mention Laken Riley.
Talk about exploiting people. Talk about politicking on someone's grave. That's shameful. And I'm glad you've turned on the volume of that now that no one can say her name.
Wait. So, the mother of Laken Riley.
By the way, do you see Marjorie Taylor Greene said her name wrong? And Donald Trump signed the name wrong on her picture?
I do believe she referred to President Biden as pathetic. And I do believe that she attended a Trump rally.
The mother of a murder victim could do anything she wants. She could do no wrong. She's lost her daughter. You, on the other hand, should not politicize her.
Okay, so is there? What's the next? Let's keep going.
So it's a similar vein. It's a similar vein. It's a great story, and I don't say this just because it's our boss.
Okay.
So John Katzimatidis, he's upset. He started out as working in his. I think his book said it was his uncle's supermarket. Later on, he went to own a supermarket, then created a supermarket chain. Went to Brooklyn Tech, by the way. Go Engineers!
Right. So Brooklyn Tech. One of the schools where the kids get these spoiled lunches. Let's point that out. Under your Democratic friends.
You've got to do better. You've got to do a better job setting that up.
Right.
I don't even know.
How would you feel? God
I don't know what that issue is.
If it was you or my son, how you wouldn't like that if it was your son or my son.
Spoiled lunch.
And by the way,
explain to the listeners what you're talking about.
Let me just say this. Your son is how old now?
He is 12.
12. So if he ever hears our segments, I just want your son to know that it's not personal. That Daddy is just wrong.
You want to hear a funny thing about Jordan?
And go ahead.
I'll tell you a funny thing. So the other day, he was raising his voice to me. I said, Jordan, we don't yell. I said, Dad, I listen to you on the radio every weekend. You're constantly yelling. He shut me down. He shut me down so fast. But let me just finish with John Katzimatidis. So his supermarkets, he is getting shot. Shoplifting is an epidemic.
Yes.
We agree on that.
I'm glad to admit that.
And for some reason, Haagen-Dazs is getting stolen more than anything else. And so he's putting little tags so he can go to the neighborhood bodegas, look at the Haagen-Dazs, and see who stole it. I mean, John's a pretty tough guy, but...
Wait, so you agree that it's the greatest thing ever? That's what you're saying to me, right?
I kind of like it, but in the Wild West...
No, not kind of like it. Somebody's got to show these animals that they're not in charge.
I guess. I just think...
Okay, so wait. the police make the arrests. These animals are out faster than the police.
Should we put them in jail?
Of course,
No,
but
so we got to build more jails. If we're going to put shoplifters in jail, we got to build more jails.
Wait. The district attorney of Manhattan is a Democrat, I believe, right?
Yes.
Democrat, right? I'm being sarcastic.
Shoplifters in Staten Island. Actually, we have all the boroughs, don't we? Just realized that. Even in Staten Island, we have the district.
And you're proving my point.
But
you're proving my point.
But the problem is not.
You are proving my point.
The problem is with the problem is with
if
the
the
law.
system is not going to lock them up. If the system is not going to
you want
lock
to
them
lock up shoplifters now?
Wait, lock up
in prison?
Shoplifters?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
After one time, 2 times, or just the first time?
No. After maybe the second time.
Wait. How long should we hold them?
And that's
a lot of prison cells for shoplifting.
Okay,
but all right.
First, you see what I'm saying about Democratic
No, maybe you're
policies?
right. Maybe you're right. We got to raise we got to raise a bunch of taxes to build all these prisons.
So wait a minute.
Where are we going to build them?
Okay, so wait a minute. So we just keep letting them take whatever they want?
No.
Is that what we do?
I don't think we should.
So what's the alternative?
I don't know what the alternative is, to be honest.
The alternative is exactly what Mr. Catsimatidis is doing.
Beat the heck out of him.
Of course. Of course.
Right.
You want to come in here.
No.
Okay, what about the mom and pop store that are being robbed?
For the most part, they're going into the bigger stores.
You think they're going to continue? No, they're going any way they can. You think they're going to continue to take this line down? People are going to start striking
I think the
back.
shoplifting. By the way, did you see that there was an indictment of a couple in Georgia that was behind a multi-billion-dollar shoplifting scam? A couple of white conservative people from Georgia are behind this. They do it on like. Have you read about this?
You don't want me to comment on that. You know why you don't want me to comment on that?
Because it's white conservatives doing the crime.
No, the reason why you don't want me to comment on that, if I'm being completely honest, the only people that get prosecuted these days are white people. So
okay.
now, can you disagree with that? Don't get silent now.
I don't know, man.
Can you disagree
you really
with that,
Mr.
Weiner?
You think that? You think the whites are being disproportionately punished?
Of course they are. Look at Marine
Dominic,
Penny.
Look
at Marine Daniel Penny.
This is a very strange position. Very strange position you're putting us in.
The guy in Brooklyn, was he charged? Or the guy that defended himself, was he charged?
Blacks are 5 times more likely to be stopped.
Can you answer my question? Was he charged?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. The guy in Brooklyn was not charged.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant Penny.
No. But yet Penny was. So, unfortunately, listen.
The guy it was very different circumstances.
Yeah, it's somewhat different.
All right, well, we have to wrap up. I think it's a good note to end on the black guy saying that whites get prosecuted too much. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say to that. But this has been another great show of Left versus Right. Dominic, should we keep doing this? I mean, I'm enjoying it, but I think that you're miserable hearing me talk to you all the time.
No. I enjoy it. The only thing that I don't like is when you start these la-la land Democratic facts.
All right.
Because what you do, you're a good example to make my case. You're the perfect, don't take this the wrong way, you're the perfect guinea pig to prove everything that's wrong with Democrats.
I'm actually not the typical Democrat anymore. But all that being said, Dominic Carter on the right, Anthony Weiner, Left versus Right. If you missed any part of it, get it as a podcast. You can see it on YouTube. Tune into the Dominic Carter Show every weeknight from 12 to 1 a.m. And as you just heard, the middle from 2 to 4 on Saturdays. It's great to have you along. We'll see you next week.